My name is Chad Allgood. I'm the director of the Child Care Licensure Program. I took this position back in May of 2017, so I've been in this position a little over 2 years. I want to welcome you all here. Thank you for coming on a Tuesday. If your day has been anything like mine, you're doing good just to stay awake. Keep your eyes open. So I appreciate you all coming. This is the first of a series of meetings that we're going to be doing on these road shows. We're going to be unveiling what we're about to start piloting, which is what we're calling observation-based inspections. So tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a few minutes explaining what in the world that is and talk about your role in that process, and then give you all an opportunity to ask questions. We are doing the show here. We're going to do another show in Tupelo in a couple of weeks, and then one in Hattiesburg. And we're probably going to do another one in the Jackson area to give people a little more time to show up as well. I used to be a director many years ago, and I was the director of a facility in Southaven, and I had a really outstanding relationship with my licensing official. When I took this position at Child Care Licensure, I took this position knowing that I wanted to do my part as director of the program at really working to strengthen the relationship between the child care inspectors and the child care facilities. You know, I never really saw licensure as the bad guys, but I know that that's not always the case. And in some situations, we've not been seen necessarily as the good guys. And we're working really hard to change that. Instead of us being seen as the, quote, child care police, we really want you all to see us as partners with you in making sure that the children that are in your facilities are in the healthiest and safe environments possible. Can I get started? So, the first thing that I want to do is kind of talk about what our current model of inspections are. Currently, we have a program renewal inspection. This occurs, or should be occurring, roughly 90 days prior to your license expiring. And then you have a mid-year inspection, which is approximately 6 months into your licensure year. So when we come in and we do those inspections, it's a full program review. We look at your files, we'll do the walkthrough, we do the full review of your program. You know, right now, inspections are focused more on just compliance with the regulations. So we come in, we have this set of regulations. If we see something that doesn't comply with the regulations, we document that, we call it a violation. Current inspections only provide a snapshot of what you all do to ensure the health and safety of our children. So we had we actually at the health department, we have what we call a quality improvement initiative, and it's in-house. In each of the different divisions has a team that actually looks at how we're doing things, the health department is doing things, and how we can improve that. And so we pulled together a team in October of 2018, and this team, and this was a team of child care inspectors, and they designed the process that I'm about to explain to you. So what can you expect as we move forward with this new observation-based model? You can still expect your renewal inspection. You will still get your renewal inspection at the beginning of your licensure year. You can still expect a mid-year inspection, which is the 6 months, and then you can expect up to 2 additional observation-based inspections. Now, again, so what's going to happen is your licensing official is going to come in. They're going to just be observing your facility during transitional times. All right? They're just going to be watching what's going on. They're going to be as unintrusive as they possibly can. And they're going to be looking at areas that maybe we can do some things to stop potential violations before they occur. What we're trying to do is we're trying to come in, or what we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming into your facilities, we're going to be observing what's going on, and we're going to, after this observation period, which will last about 2 hours, we're going to sit down with the director of the program, and we're going to talk about what we observed, and we're going to have what we call a game plan. We don't want to call it an exit conference or anything. You know, this is a game plan, that we want you to see this as a good thing. We're going to sit down with you, we're going to talk about what we observed, and we're going to talk about some ways that we can collectively work together to make sure that if there's any changes that are necessary, what is some advice and recommendations that we can give you that can help keep these violations from occurring, or if there's a potential area for a violation, let's stop it before it becomes an issue. Some other things that we may be looking for, are y'all doing head counts? Another issue that we have is children, you know, they're on their way outside and children get left in the classroom. So if we go in and we see something, you know, let's say that you leave children unattended, that's considered a violation, which is in the regulations, okay? But these things that I'm mentioning, if you're not doing transitional activities, that is by no means a violation. You will not be written up for that. There is a separate form of these things that we're going to be looking at with the observation, when we do the observation-based inspections, and we will make those available to you. And it's a learning tool. It's not just a way for, you know, us to look, but it's also a way to give you some things to make sure that you're checking with your own facility during these transitional times. So on the other hand, go up.
I just wanted to point out that the last bullet up there says any inspection is subject to a violation or monetary penalty. So is that against what you're just saying?
No, that's what I just said. That's what I just said. Anything that's in the regulations, so like if you're out of ratio or you have kids that are unattended, like we go into a classroom, I know that's things like that, then yes, those could be, if you're in violation of the regulations. But all the things that I was mentioning about these recommendations, those are not violations.
And one more question. Who's going to be doing the 2-hour observation and inspection?
It's going to be your inspector.
So our normal licensing agent?
Yes.
Oh, my concern goes back to what the young lady said, because, you know, there are times when there's an emergency in somebody's family. They gotta leave. You're left without that person. So you're in violation, and there was supposed to be some regulations to allow time to get someone in, but we've not seen anything reflective of that in people coming out. And then the other thing, as far as the inspectors in this group, they've had some training to do some of this stuff, or they're just coming out figuring it out?
No, ma'am, they've had extensive training. They're getting extensive training before they do it. And the
From
training
who?
from me.
Okay.
I do understand. Now, as far as the regulation pertaining to giving with the emergency, I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to.
Yes, there was a decision made about that a couple of years ago, and I really have not seen it in the regulation, but it was made, we met with the board, and there was a decision because we have this problem, and sometimes you all come in, it's nothing we can do about it. So I just think that needs to be something thought about, because, for example, I have a lady that rides the bus. We had a situation where the bus broke down, nothing I can do. And the inspector came in, and at least he was nice, but there are things that is nothing you can do about it. And you have some inspectors that understand that, but you have some that don't care.
Well, Ms. Sewell, one of the things that I'm trying to do is make sure that we're being consistent with the things that we're doing across the state. So my philosophy on situations like that, when you have a situation that comes up, there are going to be times when you just absolutely are out of resources. You have 3 people that called in sick because they got that Monday flu, you know, and then you got something that happened.
Chad, not to cut you off, you know, and I really used to believe in that, but I have called the licensing person about some things. Next thing you know, here they're out with the complaint.
So,
And to inspect me, what I'm trying to do, those positive things to stay out of trouble. and they make it negative.
When a licensing official is out there, if they start speaking to anything, you ask them, and let's be respectful. Please show me where that is in the regulations, okay? If they cannot show you where it is in the regulations, or if it is not in the regulations, it's not something that we can hold you to.
Yeah, I just had a question so when I read this slide, I'm looking at observation-based inspections, going back to her question, then the last bullet saying any inspection. So it leads you to believe like observation-based inspection is an inspection. So will there be some clarity to kind of distinguish that this observation-based inspection will not be subject to violation or a monetary penalty? Right, but I'm saying with the
It is, the observation-based inspection is an inspection.
So that way
So
it's
there,
clear up.
okay, so anything that is not in the regulations is not subject for a violation, okay?
And I understand that, but what I'm saying is it going to be in writing about that? Because that's where I think the fine line comes when, if something happens and then they're a military penalty for it, but they don't have anything in writing. So I'm saying, will that be specific in writing to that point?
So on the observation form, where we're looking at specific things, okay? There are certain things we're gonna be looking at that are in the regulations.
Right.
The rule and page number will be on those items, okay? Anything else, it's just a recommendation. It's about a 2-hour observation period. Now, okay, here's the thing, listen. So let's say that you have a small facility, okay? Let's say you have 2 classrooms. It's not gonna take 2 hours to observe that period. Okay. So, I mean, now we do have like some of the larger facilities, they have 200-something kids in them. It's gonna take a lot longer to observe in that period. I would also like to say that during this process, as we're coming in and we're observing what's going on, if y'all are rocking and rolling, and if you have a history of, you're not having violations, you may not get the full 4 inspections with the additional observation-based inspections. And it's on the table that we may even scale back to only 1 inspection a year. It's not definitive yet, but it's a possibility, okay? This is all designed to help you all be more engaged at being proactive at looking at your facility. And we're doing our part to help facilitate that process. So again, this is designed to be helpful and not harmful. And I understand that there are situations that cause some hard feelings, with your inspectors. I get it. I mean, I understand that. This is one of the efforts we're trying to make to help strengthen those relationships. And I promise you, every time I have a meeting with my inspectors, and you can ask any of them, I stress, we want to be seen as people that serve you. We even say, you are our customers, it is important that we serve you like customers. Y'all, it's a process, okay? Any kind of change takes time. And changing perspective takes time.
Look at this though, as a child. If you come in, kids. If you stay in there 2 hours, they gonna climb their behind off. Just because you know. And not only that, and I really appreciate you trying to do this. But there's a difference when an inspector come in and the owner is there than just the director. I had a situation like that. They didn't realize I was in the building. And when I walked up, the whole attitude was, oh, how are you doing? I didn't realize you were here. It should not have made a difference.
Are you talking about the inspector?
Yes, sir.
Well,
And
Miss
that's
Sewell,
the
yeah.
kind of stuff that bothers me
Well,
about.
Miss Sewell, you need to
this
pick up the
whole-
phone and you need to call me and we need to talk about it.
I need to know something. With all of the changes that's getting ready to take place and eventually leading to more staffing and whatever, are we going to be looking at a licensure fee increase? Yes. Because last
With your standard or comprehensive designation if you choose to pursue that. And if it does, please let me know, because we'll fix it.
Can I say one more thing? This doing live business, what's the main purpose? Because what I do see is it affects our bottom line. For simple situations, like my little situation with having a teacher that her sister died and we had to let